All righty. Hello, hello, and welcome to Bible Journaling Reset. We're so glad you are here today for Bible Journaling Reset. Uh, we are going to be talking about Advent today, which, for those of you who are part of, or have been part, or grew up in kind of a liturgical kind of church that celebrates church holidays, you may know what that is. Advent has been more embraced by the Christian church worldwide as a way to think about the anticipation of Christmas and what the people during Bible days were anticipating a savior to come. And that's what Advent means. It means anticipation of an arrival. And so we're anticipating the Christmas season and celebrating Christ's birth. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit later in today's little fun get together. I'm going to be showing you a wreath activity, and I'm just doing it on watercolor paper. Before I do it in my Bible, you can gather a paper plate, watercolors if you have them, or some kind of markers is fine too. So you might want to grab those things now. The reason we're going to be doing a little wreath art project is because the Advent wreath is the common symbol for Advent, and usually there are 4 candles that are placed on the wreath each Sunday for the 4 weeks before Christmas. So today is the third Sunday before Christmas. So today we would just be talking about peace, but I'm going to talk about all 4 and give you a little resource if you want to delve into this a little more and celebrate it yourself. So that'll be coming down the line. We're going to start with our wreath project in just a second, but I thought let's see who's here already today. Let's see.
Let me help you. Maria was first in.
Woohoo, Maria.
Hello, Maria. And Erlene is here. Hello, Erlene.
Hi, Arlene.
You have Hope Smith and Sierra.
Hi,
And
Sierra and Hope.
and is there anybody on you guys' end that I missed? I just refreshed again, so.
Yeah, I don't.
That is it. Everyone else maybe slept in today because it's getting to be such a busy time of the year.
Yeah, that may be. Oh.
Slept in, or they're still like Jonna, just coming in hot from church, which is fun.
Always a joy.
Hi, Queen Bee. Hey, you were on weren't you on Hazel's heart to heart in the chat possibly last week?
I
Your
think
name
there's
looks
another
familiar.
Queen Bee. The one on
Oh,
the chat was Retro Queen Bee.
oh, okay. Well, we
Retro
got
Queen
some.
Bee art.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you know that. But welcome here, regardless, to our new Queen Bee. We're so glad you're here.
Maybe if you could share your first name with us.
We'd be happy if you would do that, but it's not required. We like to know people a little more personally, and we know the whole not having names in your channel name. So maybe I'll introduce I'm Carol. I'm waving at you now from where you see the watercolor. Um, uh, I'm Crinkled Path is my YouTube channel. We have Angela the Traveling Crafter, and we have Jonna the Preppy Crafty Girl, and Hazel Anaka Design Hazel. And thank you for joining all of us today.
And Queen Bee, now you know a Hazel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also says that she doesn't give out her government name at all, so we will respect that.
Hey, I know.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, Elsie has shown up.
Hi, Elsie.
Or Elise. I think it might be Elise.
No,
No,
the S is before the Y.
She's a subscriber of mine, and
Okay.
yeah, we've been through all that. She's Elsie.
I have a niece named Elise and an aunt named Elsie, and they are forever getting called the opposite. It just comes with the territory. It looks like she may go by Ellie by her channel name. Which one of my very best friends is Ellie, but her real name is Elsie.
Queen Bee is your neighbor, sort of ish.
Oh, hey! I am in Northern California, in beautiful, today foggy Capay Valley.
Is the state big enough for both of you?
Oh, absolutely. And apparently the entire contents of the Canada could live here, because that's what I learned when I visited you, is that the population of California is bigger than the entire population of Canada, even though your country is bigger than ours, geographically.
We like elbow room.
Apparently. Ah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And hopefully, if you missed, I'll repeat this piece. So, if you want to play along with us today, uh, get a paper plate or anything round, like the top of a tin, or it doesn't have to be a paper plate. We're just using this as a template. So, anything round and about, the size of a paper plate or a bowl or something, because we're just using it to draw a little line. Some kind of paper. It doesn't have to be watercolor paper, because when you watercolor in your Bible, you're not watercoloring on water paper, so it's not going to perform the same in your Bible as it would on watercolor paper, obviously. So any kind of paper works. If you don't have watercolors and paint brushes, and I recommend like a tip like this, if you can, I don't know, am I focused?
Yep.
No.
And I'm
Eh.
I have a watercolor pen. So it's
Oh
just
yeah,
the
that's
water.
good.
If
So
anybody has those will work.
if you don't have watercolor, grab some markers, okay? And what we're going to do today is we are going to pretend like, okay, so if you do have a journaling Bible, we use the margin. So, like, here's my journaling Bible. Let me find a page okay, so I would use the margin. And so I would just lay my plate like this, grab a pencil. That's one thing I didn't think about. That's something else that would be helpful.
I promise
And
I'm not doing the dishes, people. I'm just using Corelware because I couldn't find a paper plate.
and I'm
What?
trying not
No
to stick.
bone china today?
No bone
I'm
china, sorry.
and I'm just trying not to stick my Bible in my paint. So, just a real faint line, because you're gonna erase it.
Oh,
But that's
so
how I would. That's how I would do it in the Bible. But, and maybe even I should have probably done it over more to give room on either side of the line. Whoops! I can't do this with my paint in the way. My desk is too small. Do 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 do.
Oh, you're just
Okay.
showing us an option. We're actually doing it on the separate paper.
Right. This is what you'll do if you want to. We're going to play a little bit. And then if you want to do it in your Bible while I'm talking about the lesson, you can.
And and by the way, ladies, I'll try to watch the chat and let you know what they're saying. If I miss
Oh,
it,
thanks.
Hazel and Jonna, please have my back. But Hope had a question. She just wanted to know what book of the Bible will be in, because I think she wants to get her.
I have 4 different verses today. And so I'll be talking about that when I do my little devotional part of this. I'm going to kind of show you a variety of things, and I'd love for you to just play around and see which one you like first. And you can even do this on a notepad or scrap paper or something to start. And then when you find the thing you like, you might want to do a different one on each of the 4 verses. So that's kind of where I'm going. So I'm not trying to be mysterious about the verses at this point, but it's coming. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. Just need a bit of a arc on your page to use, and we're going to use that as like you're seeing the edge of a wreath. If you are doing your devotionals in a regular art tablet or a mixed media book or in a notebook, you can do a whole wreath if you want to paint the whole wreath. Okay. So, really very flexible activity. And this works for more things other than Advent, of course, but because the kind of the symbol of the Advent holiday is an Advent wreath with 4 candles. I thought it would be fun to do something wreathy on our pages. Okay, so I'm gonna do that same thing here on this page, and I'm just gonna show you some very simple things you can do to make a wreath. And I'm gonna do all of them on this one. You can do like multiple pages, but I'm just going to do it all in here for the sake of time.
Excuse me,
Whoa.
Angela, would you make Carol the focus, please?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so actually I'm going to use a skinnier one first. So I'm starting with my thinner brush, and I'm so whether you're using a marker or a paintbrush, the first thing we're going to do or I'm going to do is just a real simple, oh gosh, sorry if that's loud. I have company apparently in the other half of the shop where I'm working. So I'm just going to do some off of that line. I'm just going to do some really rough little green sprigs. And that is my pine bough. Okay. And it's okay if it runs a little. It's okay if it's nice and crisp. It's just all, watercolor kind of has a mind of its own, and that's part of the beauty.
So, Carol, on your
Yep.
page, did you trace your whole plate, or are you just doing half an arc even on your plate? Okay, as much as might be fit on the margin of the Bible.
Right. That's what I did. But if you're going to be working in a art book or something instead of a Bible, or if you're going to work on a hymnal page, you could do a whole wreath with a little bowl or something. Okay, so that's just one example of something you could make a wreath out of. You just keep repeating that pattern. You can add some little dots or something, like real simple little things, just kind of give it some character. Another shape that's real easy to do and is very common for Christmas wreaths is a holly leaf, and you just do like an M on its side with pointy tops. And then you do the same thing mirroring it. And then you can fill it in, or you can leave it just an outline. And I can do the same thing on the other side. And you'll just kind of make different sizes and just play around with it and see what you like. And I'll do some for these. Okay, I did my holly berries on my evergreen one. So for this one, maybe I'll just do some little hearts. Like that. But you can really use any kind of shape or flower to do something. For Hazel, I'm going to do a little wheat, and I'm just gonna dip my paintbrush, and then I'm gonna just kind of smush it down on the side to give the little wheat berries. And I might go back over with after and put some little black lines over it, because the wheat have those little sticks, the little tiny sticks that fill. What are those called, Hazel? What are the little sticks on wheat called?
The stalk?
No, I'm thinking of the little hairs that stick off the top.
Not every variety has that, but if it's called bearded. beard and
Oh,
wheat. Yeah.
oh, we're learning things. I love it. Somebody says, Carol, you're always teaching. And I said, yeah, except when I'm learning. Like, I love to learn and then I love to share it with other people. So sorry if that offends you. But anyway, it's
That's
kind of
like a
funny.
gift with purchase here.
Yeah. Okay, so that's another thing you could make a wreath out of. And you can also do just some regular leaves. So I could do some skinny leaves.
Carol, do you know an Ellen Belly?
Ellen Bell. Oh, Belly. Oh, thank you, Ellen. That's so sweet. Aw.
Hi,
You,
Ellen.
yeah, I'm so
Welcome.
glad you're here. All right, so you can do big leaves or little leaves, and you just would keep going around your half circle. So obviously, I wouldn't probably do this in my Bible with all the different kinds, but um, just trying to give you some options. Another one that's really fun is some flowers that are just made up of little triangles. So, whoops, I got a hair on my. So, like, kind of making the point at the center and then the wider part of the triangle outside. And you can put a center in it later. If you do it now, a different color, it will run into the blue. And that's a look. You know, you could also do that. Letting it run together, but I'm going to let mine dry and then I'll fill it in later. But I'm just doing little triangles. And so you don't have to be like a really good drawer to do this kind of thing, is what I'm trying to say. And, if you are a person who likes to draw really intricate things, good for you. Do that. Do designs you like to draw. But I want to give everybody something they can do today. And I'm going to grab my markers real quick, just because I can. But I'm thinking like doing some little curly cues off of those. And I'm going to hold this up closer so you can kind of see what I'm doing better if I don't knock my camera. So here's a selection of leaves, our wheat, our holly, our evergreen, and then these cute little triangles.
Hi, Yvette.
Hello, Yvette.
Hi, Yvette. Another shape you might be able to do is ivy, and ivy is just kind of a heart shape. And I'm going to use a little bit wider brush for this one. And whoops, I keep getting these little fuzzy things. So you might put a little stem, and then you're going to just do a heart shape, but maybe curl the end. And that's kind of an ivy shaped leaf. And so that makes a cute wreath if you just continue that on around.
Oh, thank you, Ellen. Man, I can't find my words today. Goodness gracious.
All right, so that's a little selection. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is if you
Hi,
want.
Susie.
Hi, Susie. I'm going to show you a
Oh,
candle.
sorry, Carol. It's just that Ellie is saying that she's not seeing any chat after Hope asking for the book. It may be that this is being streamed to all 4 of our channels. So I don't know, girls. Does that depend on whose channel she's watching?
It
Or
could if she's on Carol or mine, because ours are connected. She should be able to see them, but
yeah. So
do tell us.
I think YouTube shows you who's in the chat on the channel you're watching and not everybody, unfortunately. So that's kind of why we read a lot of the comments out so that you stay not only for me teaching, I need somebody to read them to me because I can't stop and read them all. And that's what Angela's kind of doing. So she's trying to keep y'all in the loop. Okay,
Yeah.
last thing is a little candle. And I'm gonna do this real exaggerated first, okay? So here's what you want to do, but you're gonna do it really small. So you're gonna do like an M, like this. A very crookedy M, only we're gonna do it really tiny. And that's just the top of our candle. And then we're gonna do 2 straight lines down. And I'm just gonna add some water.
Ooh. I'm about to find out what happens to these super tips if they get water on them.
Oh, and
It's a
then
watercolor, so they should be fine.
Yeah, it seems like they are.
And then I'm just going to get a little bit of yellow and I'm going to do like a teardrop shape for my candle topper.
Are
Okay.
we supposed to be putting those candles somewhere on our pretty wreaths, or are you?
I usually, well, I was kind of envisioning doing your wreath with, all one kind and then putting a candle on your page and then writing around it your notes.
So
Because
do the 4 candles separately.
Right. So I have 4 verses that you can do your wreaths on, and then you can add a candle to each one of them. You don't have to, but it's an option.
Okay.
All right. All right. Any questions about the wreath making? I'll give
Do
you
you
all a
wanna-
second.
How about we put everybody back up here so you can kind of see what we're all up to?
Yeah, show. Please show what you're up to.
Well,
I'm trying it all.
Well, that's good. That's a place to start.
there you go.
Well, you're in the right place, Ellen.
Yes,
We're
we
glad
are
you're here.
very happy.
And if you weren't a part of our last 4, we do this about once a month, and this is our 5th one we've done. And so you're welcome to go back and look at the previous months on any of our channels.
And Ellen's been commenting a lot on my videos, so she may not have seen some of those. I mean, it's been pretty recently. So yeah, we would love, and you can comment there too. You don't have to be live to comment on those.
Right. Good job. Okay, ladies, you want to hold yours up close so they can see what you're up to?
No.
There you go. That's as far as I got. Oh, yours
Wow,
looks very.
Hazel.
Wow,
Yours looks very
Hazel,
kind.
I'm impressed.
Yours looks very much like a pine
Whoa.
tree in this beautiful winter weather. I love it.
I'm using the brush pen, so that's probably a little more user friendly than the watercolor.
Those are the Faber
Faber-Castell.
Castell Pitt artist pens, brush pens.
Okay, then what's my problem? Because I'm using a brush marker too, and mine does not look like yours, Hazel.
My
Maybe you
options
can
are
get a
limited.
refund.
Yeah.
Well, and the cool thing about it is looking at this is you can go look up watercolor leaves, on Pinterest or something, and you start seeing, instead of seeing a whole picture where it's overwhelming and you're like, I could never do that, just pick out an element from another wreath and just take that element, practice it a little, and then repeat it. And it can be something as simple as, just some little dots, or like trying to just take a pattern and make it into a flower.
That's what I've been doing with my embroidery, and that seems successful because instead of trying to do all the things all at once, you just try 1 or 2, and then Voila, you master something.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
Carol, can I ask you how tall should the candle be so that it kind of works proportionately when we glue it down into the Bible?
Well, mine is about a third of the height of my total wreath, half. Does that make, my wreath is maybe a third of a wreath. It's just it doesn't
Yeah.
go all the way to the top. And then the candle height is about a third of what I have drawn on my paper.
Okay, but if we're spreading these candles around the 4 different verses and journaling around them, do we not want the candles to be separate? And
Well, I guess I'm suggesting you just draw this on each of your pages and not cut it out.
Oh, I
oh,
see. I was going with the cutout version too, Hazel.
You're
So
well, yeah,
I
you can
think he's
absolutely
gonna
do that.
put us at the front of the class, where the
He might.
troublemakers go.
Well, okay, so if you want to cut out what you're drawing and glue it into your Bible, I do have a recommendation for you. Deli paper. Paint on the deli paper, or I do a lot of stamping on deli paper because I don't want to do all the work to keep my page from bleeding through when I use stamps. And like, I really love the Stays On ink, but it goes right through those Bible pages and it gets, you can see the print on both sides of the page, which I don't
Sure.
like. And so I'll stamp on deli paper and I'll color it in if I want, or use watercolor on it because Stays On's pretty is resistant. And then I'll cut it out and I will kind of decoupage it onto my Bible page. And that deli paper will just melt
Yeah.
into the page. And so if you want to cut out, I mean, it's fine to cut it out of cardstock or but it will add some bulk. Just to keep that in mind. I love chunky Bibles, so bulk is not a bad thing for me.
Well,
I'm gonna
I guess
try
the
some.
problem though with the cutting out is pretty impossible to do a neat job cutting out this hairy wreath of mine. So
That's true. You probably want to go ahead and just paint it in your Bible. But if you're worried about, having a proportion right, or you could just cut out your candles. Those wouldn't be hard to fussy cut.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think the deli paper is a brilliant idea. Unfortunately, on my limited items that I have here, I don't think I have any of that on hand.
You got to go down to the deli and ask for a slice.
There you go. Shoot, I should have bought those deli papers at the estate sale today.
Oh, yeah.
Dave even said, "Why didn't you buy those?" And I was like, "I don't need that."
I'm going to grab my box just so I can show you the kind I use. Let's see.
I'm experimenting, so hopefully we'll be working on these for a little while.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to chat at you a little bit about Advent, and then you can be coloring. That's why I did that first. Okay, here's what I use. It's quick
Here,
wrap.
let me make you big.
Okay. It's quick wrap, grease resistant sandwich paper, and it's about 11.5 by 11.5, I think. And I'm pulling one out. It's very thin. So it's not like the white paper that you get your sandwich wrapped in when you go to a deli necessarily, because that's butcher paper. You want
Right.
deli paper, which is
Yep.
really thin. Okay, so that's my tip of the day, I guess, for
That's a great tip.
another substance that you could, a substrate, I should say, not substance.
Yeah. I wish I
Alright.
had some. I think that would look so cool.
Okay, I'm gonna move this aside and grab my Bible. And we're going to talk about Advent a little bit. Can you put in the comments if you have ever done an Advent devotional? Have you ever done Advent through your church? Is it something you've heard about or read about, Was it something that was part of maybe a church you were a part of as a kid, and maybe now you go somewhere different that doesn't really do it?
Or do
Because
you just eat the chocolates?
What? Yours involved chocolate? That's not
well,
fair.
Advent calendars, that have the chocolates in them.
Well, I have 4 siblings, so by the time I noticed that there was any chocolate on the wall, there was no chocolate on the wall on the calendar by the time I got to it. My mother did do the Advent wreath every year. We always had that as the centerpiece on our table, and then
Oh, cool.
she would allow one of us to light the candles. That was like an honor.
Oh, that's
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
cool.
I grew up in a church that really didn't like to use a lot of symbolism, like in their art, on their signs. That you very rarely even saw like a cross on one of this denomination's churches. Um, but as I have grown older and been a part of some other, Christian fellowships, and the church I'm currently go to, they really, I was started going there in about 2005, and it was the first time that I really heard about using an Advent devotional to celebrate Christmas. And I love it so much. And
Mhm.
so I've been doing an Advent study pretty much every year for the past about 8 years. And about at least 3 of those years, I did the study in a journaling Bible where I did art associated with it. And it's really helps you focus on the reason for the season when there's so much hustle and bustle and commercialism and all that good stuff. And so we gotta stay focused. And uh so I'm gonna just do a little quick overview of the 4 parts of Advent. And we're going to talk about, well, I'm going to read 4 verses and I will give those to you now. Because if you want to start working on those verses, you could while I'm talking. I got to make me big again so I can hold this up here.
Okay, you got. Do I need to do it or hold? Oh, there you got it.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to take a screenshot or write those down really quick, the hope is going to be 1 Peter 1:3-9. Peace is going to be Colossians 1:15-20. Joy, I know it looks like it says jot. I was writing quickly. Joy is John 16. Sorry, they're being loud again here. 16:16-22. And then love is John 15:12-17. So those are the pages I'm going to be working on. Of course, there's lots of verses in the Bible about hope, peace, joy, and love, but those are our 4 main things that those 4 candles on a wreath represent. I talked a little bit right at the beginning, but if you weren't here, that like I said, Advent celebrations have been part of liturgical church calendars, uh, holy celebrations throughout the years, along with Easter and others. But like Lent and Epiphany and all those things. But if you didn't grow up in that kind of church, which I didn't, it's very like foreign. I didn't know to celebrate it other than the calendars with the chocolate. But Advent means it comes from a Latin word Adventus, Adventus, which means anticipation.
Well, you got some big words going on there, girl.
Oh no,
Oh, did we lose her?
we lost.
Oh, see, Ellie said her church, she's coming back. She's just spooling right now, so it's just give her a second. Ellie said that their church lights the candle each week. That's cool. And oh, how come I'm up here? I told you I was going rogue. I'm doing some. Yeah,
You're
she went.
going broke.
There we go. We'll wait for her to come back.
You know, I just thought of why am I struggling with the drawing when I could just use stamps? Hello, I'm gonna go get my stamps.
Oh, you could, yes.
Oh, getting stamps.
I kind of like the, it's very cathartic to me to paint. Even if it doesn't look very good, I don't really care. You know, it's just the act of it. What do you think, Hazel?
For sure. And I think this sort of a setting, alive, kind of almost by the seat of our pants, with
Mhm.
everybody watching, is, you know, maybe it forces us to be, you know, to stop the second guessing and the the negative self-talk and just do it.
Yep. I'm even using purple in this one. Hold the phone, sisters.
There is hope for you.
I know. See, I'm trying.
And don't forget that purple is considered a spiritual color.
That
And
is
the
true.
color of royalty. So
Royalty. Yeah.
And we got Queen Bee here, so, you know. Okay, let's see if Carol's coming. Hopefully she knows that she went away.
that she's not talking to herself.
Well, I hope not. Okay, I'm not sure I like these. I should just be sticking to my watercolor and not messing around with.
Is that loud? I'm sorry, I should have muted it.
Are you having snacks and you're not inviting us or what?
No, I'm digging through. I knew I had some leaves, so I'm like, I know I have them. And I even have a Hark the Herald Angels thing.
Oh, wow.
I decided that I didn't make my candles long enough, so now I'm extending them. Oh, Lord. It's easier just to cut some off than to find out they're too short when I need them.
There you go. Well, I have a very limited palette of watercolors with me today, so I'm having to do a lot of mixing, and it's not.
Oh, Carol is saying, not sure what took out my camera. Please anticipate my return.
We're anticipating.
I was thinking the same thing. So while we're waiting and we're all just, you know, artsy fartsy in a way, what's everybody in the comments been up to this weekend? What have you ladies been up to? Hazel, what have you been doing that's exciting?
Well, for the first time in many years, we won't be going to Denver for Christmas. Like, for those of you who don't know me, I live in Alberta, Canada, but my son and his family live in Denver. So yesterday I dug out the Christmas tree and decorated it because my daughter and her fiance will be joining us here at the farm. So that was a bit of, like, decorating a tree is fun when you get into it, but it's not much fun when you're dragging it up from the basement and the boxes you need of stuff.
And you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah, but I had the Oilers hockey game on, so it was good.
Yeah,
and it looks beautiful, and I love all my ornaments, so.
Aw. Yes, I got all mine done.
We'll be hosting Christmas Eve here, and then Christmas at my daughter and, well, future son-in-law's. So far less traveling.
That's awesome that they're taking a day too, so it's not all on your shoulders.
Oh my goodness. They are the host and hostess with the mostest. I'm the one that slacks off.
Carol returned just like Jesus.
Yes, yay.
Okay, but my camera is doing something weird. It like is mirrored, I think, and it's backwards. So hold on.
It looks right.
Hope the last one
was right.
Hope the last verse is for love, and it's I just wrote love.
John 15, 12, 17.
Oh yeah, John 15 verses 12 through 17.
I'll type them all in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay, there. I think it was looking right for you guys, but it was backwards for me, and it was making me, not know what my right hand was doing with my left. Anyway,
That's
sorry
par for
about
the
that.
course for a lot of people,
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Janet is here and she's baking in the background. Yeah, we can
Oh,
smell it,
oh,
That's right.
yay! That's wonderful, Janet.
That
Okay.
sounds wonderful.
I'll see if I can get myself back on track. Sorry about that. My computer kept going, but my phone just and it's on do not disturb and everything. So I don't know what I did wrong.
Well, just
Anyway.
so you know why you were gone, we were just I posed the question to everyone in the comments. So if you see some or if we mention it on what everybody was doing while they were watching today. So that was
Awesome. Well,
Carol,
yes.
before you restart, it could be like sort of the last days of school before Christmas holidays where you can't rein in the kids because everyone's in such a mood. So if you're having trouble, herding cats today, that's why. We're excited. We're very
I'm glad.
excited.
And I love the analogy because, it really does feel like Christmas is coming, this is a good time of anticipation, right? So what better way to kind of embrace that with a study about Advent? So what are we celebrating Advent for? It's to focus on the anticipation of a coming Christmas day when we celebrate the birth of Jesus, which was the first Advent in the Bible. And we also are remembering that we're still awaiting a second Advent when Jesus Christ comes back, returns for his followers. And it's good to remember the first Advent and celebrate that in order to keep our minds focused on we're still in the trenches as Christians, spreading God's love, waiting for his return at the second Advent. So the four, as I said with the verses, the four words in the Advent studies are hope, peace, joy, and love. And if you were following a typical Advent schedule, you would have done hope last Sunday, peace today, joy next Sunday, and love the next Sunday. And then it's Christmas. So let's talk a little bit about the word hope because these words are all very familiar to us in our vocabulary, but the biblical meanings of these words are sometimes or usually usually I should say, very different from our worldview, the way the world uses these words. Okay. So the word hope, we all can understand when we're waiting for something or we have an expectation or anticipation that we are hoping for something better ahead. But when you talk about the biblical word for hope, it means we're hoping in God Himself and not circumstances. So we might say we're being optimistic as we look for something, we look at a situation and we go, "Oh, I see a way this could work out." That's optimism. But biblical hope looks back at things God's done before. Sometimes out of complete impossibility, he makes things happen when we can't see a way. And I have an example of that. For 10 years, we did family ministry, and it was every Friday night. And 6 months out of the year, we were outside. And over 6 entire months for 10 years, it never rained past 6:30 p.m. on a Friday night when we met outside. And each time there would be a storm on the horizon, and people would call me and they would say, "It's going to rain. Are we going to try and move it inside somewhere?" And we had such a consistent pattern of his faithfulness to hold back the sprinkles, even. Sometimes it would rain until 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then it would be gone. And we would dry the tables and we had our thing outside. And it made me very bold in my faith to tell people 2 years in, 4 years in, no, it's not going to rain. It's not going to rain. I've looked back, and my hope is based on the hope that it's not going to rain is based on his faithfulness to not let it rain the last 4 years on a Friday night after 6:30. And it was a consistent thing for 10 years. And it it's a miracle, really. But that's the kind of hope we want to have for the things in our future that God is doing for us. We want to look back and anticipate that he can make a way where nothing else can. He's faithful again and again. And our ultimate hope is in a risen Jesus who rescued us and wants to rescue the world from sin and death. And so that's what we're focusing on our hope verse, which is First Peter. I think I started with the one that's furthest back. First Peter 1:3-9. So I'm just going to read that quickly. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. According to his great mercy, he has caused us to be born again to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, to an inheritance that is imperishable, undefiled, and unfading, kept in heaven for you, who by God's power are being guarded through faith for a salvation ready to be revealed in the last time. In this you rejoice, though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been grieved by various trials, so that the tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Through you, though you have seen him, though you have not seen him, you love him. Though you do not now see him, you believe in him and rejoice with joy that is inexpressible and filled with glory, obtaining the outcome of your faith and the salvation of your soul. So it's basically saying we're putting our faith in a risen Savior who is coming to save us and who fills us with joy and rejoicing even in times of grief. And we'll talk a little bit about that more when we talk about joy. But that's the first verse for, and you can do your wreath this way or this way. It doesn't really matter. But that's one verse. And I love, this is, for anybody wondering, this is the illuminated art journaling edition. It's an ESV. And I love the book covers for each book of the Bible within the Bible. So this is the one for Peter. It's beautiful sheep. Our next one is peace. And biblical peace is the absence of conflict, and something better in its place. So it also can mean completeness or wholeness. Our lives are very complex and things get out of order pretty easily. And Christ brings peace, repair, wholeness to our lives. The Bible says he's the Prince of Peace, and he is the restorer of our wholeness. He's the restorer of our broken relationships. God used Jesus to restore our relationship with God because sin separates us from God. So when Jesus came and died for us, he put himself in the middle and took on our sin so that we can now stand before God and be in relationship with him again. And so that's why he's the Prince of Peace. Peace restores wholeness, and he's done that through his death and resurrection. And now we're called peacemakers. As his people, it's our job to do the same in the world with our lives in restoring relationships and being a part of creating peace and wholeness in the world we live in. Okay, so the verse for this one is Colossians 1:15-20. Thanks for the notes, Jonna. It's really helpful. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For by him all things were, sorry, it's noisy again. For by him all things were created in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All these things were created through him and for him. And he is before all things, and in him all things hold together. That's part of that creating wholeness. And he is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, and that in everything he might be preeminent. For in him all the fullness of God was pleased to dwell, and through him to reconcile himself all things, whether on earth or in heaven, making peace by the blood of his cross. So God, he dwelled with God, and he brought us back together to be with God through his gift of his life. Okay, I want to pause a minute because I know that was a big mouthful between those two. Any questions or comments? Does this resonate with you that the meanings of these words are deeper than we say peace yo, or I'm hoping that happens. It's a deeper concept than what we would use in our typical everyday language. Any comments?
I'm reading. I'm looking.
I'm
glowing,
talking,
I'm
and I have
thinking.
my microphone on mute. Sorry.
Oh, Jonna.
The one person who has something to say.
I think a lot of people, as far as peace, because you're making the comment, yo, peace, like that.
Yeah.
I think when you come into the knowledge of how really truly deep that word is, like the weightiness of that, the peace that we have to receive, because Jesus says in the Gospels, he says, receive my peace. I leave you my peace. Receive my peace. Like we have to actually receive it as a gift. Like you put your hands out, you hold on to it, you take it, you look at it, right? So just receive it as a gift. He's giving us this gift. And his peace is peace everlasting. His peace is the peace that is eternal, right? And the peace is knowing that Jesus is going to come back. It's also knowing and having the confidence of the work was complete that Jesus did on the cross. That's what gives us our peace when everything is, we have to keep our eyes focused on the eternal and not focus on what's going on in our day to day. You always have to stay on the eternal, because if
Yeah.
you focus on the day to day, it's easy to lose your peace in a situation. But knowing that your Savior has died for you to have life and live it abundantly, and knowing that all good things come from our Father, and that knowing that God is going to turn every evil thing that the enemy meant for us, he's turning it for our good, then you're once you get the word in you and you're able to stand on the promises that are given to us as Jesus's peace, then you actually truly have a revelation knowledge of the peace of God that reigns in your heart, in your home, in your life. And that's my prayer for everyone.
That's
And I just want to
beautiful.
break out into song, standing on the promises of God. So you said it, and I wanted
Standing
to start
on the
singing.
promises of God.
I love it. It's one of my favorites. Alan
Yes.
Jackson's verse version is really good.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm going to move along to joy. So biblical joy is an attitude that God's people adopt. So just like Donna was saying, we have to reach out and accept his peace. We have to choose the God kind of joy. Like he provides it to us, but we have to choose to accept it. And joy, godly joy is not based on life circumstances, but rather our future destiny, our redemption. We can be joyful even when we are in sorrow and grieving, because we live in a world that there's a lot of sorrow. There's death and sickness and sadness and injustice. And we can still have joy because we know what's coming. We know the outcome. We know God's plan for us ultimately. And he's here to walk with us through all of that. We rejoice. We have joy in the faith and hope of Jesus. So the verse for this one that I chose, joy is probably the one of the most prevalent themes that runs throughout the whole Bible. You can find more verses about joy than you could ever list out on pieces of paper. So the verse I picked here was John 16 to 22. A little while and you will see me no longer. And again, so this is Jesus talking to his disciples. And again, a little while and you will see me. So some of his disciples said to one another, what is this that he says to us? A little while and you will not see me. And again, a little while and you will see me. And because I'm going to the Father. So they were saying, what does he mean in a little while? Do we not know what he's talking about? Jesus knew that they wanted to ask him, so he said to them, is this what you're asking yourselves, what I mean to say? A little while and you'll not see me. And again, am I on the right verse? Yeah, I think I'm. A little while and you'll see me. Truly, truly, I say to you, you will weep and lament, but the world will rejoice. You will be sorrowful, but your sorrow will turn into joy. When a woman is giving birth, she has sorrow because her hour has come. But when she has delivered the baby, she no longer remembers the anguish for joy that a human being has been born into the world. So also you have sorrow now, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take your joy from you. So our joy, when it comes from a place of knowing the thing that is coming, our salvation, our redemption is coming in the future, our future destiny is sealed when we believe in Christ, that's where our joy comes from, and it's not dependent on our circumstances.
Thank you,
And then,
Lord.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, and then the last one is love. And most people who've heard of the Bible or Jesus, they know the verses about love God and love your neighbor. And Jesus says they're both the most important principle to live by. And it's like, how can you do both? Well, they're inseparable. When you love God, you will have the ability to love your neighbor, even your enemy neighbor. And when you are giving love to your neighbor, you are displaying your love for God. So they're completely interwoven. You can't separate them. And it's what I most want to see in our Christian walk is that we're loving people first before anything else, and it's only through his gift and his help that we can do that. And Christian love is an action word. It's seeking the well-being of others without anything in return. And we're reflecting God's love when we do that. Jesus died for us, and he died for his own enemies. He died for the people who crucified him. And God's love was revealed in his life, his death, and his resurrection. Those of us who walk in a Christian faith, we believe in a God of love. We receive love from him, and then we give it out to others. And that's boiled down to the most simple definition, but the most beautiful, profound definition of love to me. So the verse here, James 15, 12 to 17. Cover it up. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. You're my friends if you do what I command. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends, for all that I have heard from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you, and you should go and bear fruit, and your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. These things I command you, so that you will love one another. And the song that just popped into my head was one from, a little kid. This is my commandment, that you love one another, that your joy may be full. And so those words, love, joy, peace, they're all gifts of the Spirit, and they're all interconnected. And hope, I didn't mention hope, but I hope that you will delve into this a little more. On my channel, I have put a link in the description box for the Bible Project, which talks about these 4 parts of Advent. So you could go watch the 4 little videos to learn more about Advent. I think there's actually 5 videos. There's one that kind of introduces Advent, and then one for each of the 4 words that we just talked about. And the other ladies are going to be getting that same link into their description boxes right after we finish up here. So if you're watching on Hazel's channel or Jonna's channel or Angela's channel and you don't see the link, just check back or jump on over to my channel quickly and you can click on it there. But eventually we'll all have it on the channel so that you can have access to it. That same link can lead you to some free Advent studies. So there's one that's only 5 days long. There's one that's like a month long. And so I just wanted to go ahead and connect you to those resources, because you might want to do a little more study or read more about this in depth. So that's out there for you. I can try to put it in the comments. So I don't know if you're going to be able to click on it. So let me see if I can do that.
I just put it in the comment, but I don't think it came up, and I don't know. It'll show up on my channel, but I don't know if it'll show up on yours, because I don't know if I'm a mod.
Oh, and it's some big long hairy link when I put it in, so I don't know if that's showing up. Oh my gosh, it's like goes into 2 comments, so I don't think that'll work.
Wow.
Okay, I think you're gonna have to. I've never seen a link that long.
Mine is just go to BibleProject.com and then videos, then collections, and Advent. That's what.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's probably easier. Anyway, that's there.
I better write that down before I.
Way back when
Janet
said, Janet said, loving the unlovable is only capable with God.
Yeah,
that's well said.
Yeah, we're not that strong.
But we can try with the help of the Holy Spirit.
That's for sure.
can't
That's
cop
just-
out. You have to at least try. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying. Might not be perfect, but it's better than doing nothing.
Well,
Um,
I think that's a part of it too, is that we have to understand that we're never going to be perfect and live that out perfectly, which is the whole point. If we could live it out perfectly, we wouldn't have needed his sacrifice for us, right?
so true.
And so it doesn't give us like this carte blanche to not try, but but it gives us patience for each other because we all know we're fallible.
Yep.
Okay,
When you were
I gotta
talking of-
get
when-
painting. Keep talking.
when you were talking about joy, scripture, like joy in the midst of our enemies and persecution and things like that.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of in Psalm 37, 13 to 13 specifically, it says, "The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming." Like the Lord literally laughs at the enemy because he knows his day is coming. And so if we can then also take that same posture, knowing that our Father in heaven is laughing at the enemy, it says, "The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and the needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart and their bow shall be broken." I mean, that's the power of God's joy in the midst of persecution, is knowing that our God can take your situation when you're being attacked by the enemy and throw it back onto themselves. Many a time in scripture, he talks about that he throws the enemy in derision and they literally wipe themselves out. They wipe themselves out. So,
Yeah. And we see that in like actual battles in the
Yeah.
Bible, but also we see it in like the psychological battles that we see today,
yes.
It's so interesting because somebody just I see a lot of nature analogies in the Bible, and somebody was just telling me the other day that you like to kill a weed, you harm the top of the plant just enough that it'll try and put all its energy into saving it, and that's actually what kills it. And I think sometimes the strongholds that we see of evil, like when we pray and ask God to intervene, like we're creating just enough damage by our prayers and supplication and asking for those things, and then often God does like snuff out that thing because it starts pouring all of its energy into itself to save itself, and that's what ultimately dies. And I just see all these like nature. It's why I do a lot of nature pictures in my Bible, because I see such a correlation between his natural order and his biblical, authority.
That's good.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So how is anybody working directly in their Bible, or are y'all still on paper, or what you doing?
I'm making a hot mess and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
I love it.
Well,
Oh my God.
once I understood actually what we were doing, that we needed this wreath in 4 places, I then switched to doing it straight on the page. And luckily, this is not bleeding through. So,
Yeah, I love those pit pins because they don't bleed through unless you stay in one place and scribble, scribble, scribble. Then it can kind of go through. But we're not in kindergarten, so most of us don't do that. I watch my granddaughter coloring, and she just colors in one spot till there's a hole in the paper.
and probably has her tongue crooked in the corner of her mouth in concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
December 7th.
Hope says she's working right in her Bible.
Which one? Hope you've won like 2 or 3.
I know.
I love it.
Lucky lady.
Very blessed. Very blessed.
That's for sure.
I'm just working in my notebook.
Well, I did my little wreath on mixed media paper. Then I cut it out, put it into my book, my Bible, and then I painted right in my Bible. But I have this one too. I haven't done anything with it yet. I was just playing.
Bye, Ellen. I'm sorry if I missed her leaving on us.
Oh, I missed that.
She said the first one. Which one was the first one that she won?
That's the one I sent her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, that's
fun.
fun. Well, you jumped in and got started in that one right away.
Yeah.
She didn't know that lightning was going to strike twice or 3 times.
All right. That one.
Boy, if there's any doubt that you were supposed to have one, it should be completely eliminated. No doubt.
I think I'm just going to stick this in my, maybe I'll write notes on it or something, but I think.
I'm going backwards. I started with love.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Because I had still had my Bible open to that page.
I've been hopping around too.
I'm pulling out my stamps. I'm cheating.
That's
not
cheating.
cheating. Jinx.
I did one where I tried all the different things that you taught on the wreath. Like I did all the flowers, the holly, the little branches, the little oat thingies. So I did try.
I love it.
We were saying when you left the building for a minute, that, regardless, I was saying that for me anyway, like this is how I do my devotions. I'll just put on a podcast or I'll listen to something that's intriguing for, different verses of the Bible, whatever it might be. Or maybe I need some focus on, maybe it's focus. So I'll listen to a podcast on that and then I'll just paint. And I think there's something very cathartic about it. And for me, we're all different, but for me, it's like, I absorb it better. And then I can come back and ponder kind of the thoughts that were being shared. And Hazel was saying that it allows you to also let go of some, preemptive, maybe things that you would be more perfect at, and allows you to be more creative in the same space as well. So, it's all the way around.
That's great. I knew you would not have trouble, keeping things afloat till I could get back.
I'm here for you, sister. I'm here for you.
I just honestly don't know what that was because my computer never wavered. But I don't know. My phone was misbehaving.
Naughty.
Just to circle back to what Angela just said, the one day, because of course we have a group text going, the one day you sent the link from that jelly roll thing that he did in Nashville with, or at Grand Ole Opry, was it? Or with an elementary school?
Yep.
That made me go down a whole rabbit hole. It was wonderful.
Oh, Hazel, that was one of my days. This is a great story, and I'm glad you brought that up. Because I then watched his whole story, which I guess I didn't know all about.
So did I.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, then I got on Spotify, and I'm like, I need to get instead of just listening to all my favorite Christian music, I need to put it in one place. Spotify, a good spot for it, right? Well, it happens to be Landon's Spotify. So I quickly added all of them so I could just play it while I was, cleaning the house and, jamming to some good gospel music. And I made a new playlist and I marked it Mama's Jesus Music. And all of a sudden, like about an hour later, I still had it on and it just like stopped. And I tried to start it again and it stopped. And Landon is texting Zenny or Demi saying, "Oh my gosh, someone's hacked my account. There's somebody putting Mama's Jesus music on my playlist. What is this?"
It's
So
like,
finally,
no, it's your
I told-
literal mama.
I know. And so I told Demi, I said, "Oh, I had all these great because I don't use my Apple Music." And she started laughing and she goes, "Landon totally thought he got hacked. We didn't know that was you." I said, "Well, I put Mama's Jesus music."
And do they not know who their mother is?
I know. And do I have to ask permission? I didn't think so, but
Oh my
apparently
gosh.
they thought some other's mama was putting,
Well, honestly, if you wanted a career as a hacker, I guess there's worse stuff you could be doing than Christian music.
right.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that is his story, Hazel, is I was blown away. I had no idea.
Well, and I like the fact that it wasn't a big extravaganza on some sort of a streaming, a subscription streaming thing where you need to, have a membership or whatever to see it. Because I think, wasn't it just straight on YouTube so anyone could see it?
It was
done by a friend or something.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It was, and it really makes you think. It's the quote my kids get so sick of, and I say it ad nauseum, is be kind, because everyone's fighting a hard battle, and you should never judge a book by its cover, because that man has done so much in light of what he has been through, and has overcome adversity, and all with God right beside him. So, he might have been lost, but definitely now he's found, and the way he's sharing his story is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm showing Hope how to do holly leaves again. So I said do an M with points and then turn it over and just mirror image on the other side.
By the way, Hazel, I haven't got my Mama's Jesus music back.
No.
He deleted all of it.
What?
Oh no.
Yeah, he really thought somebody was hacked it, so I don't have it back yet. But I'm like, well, you need to go find it.
What I discovered was, and of course, you guys probably all know this, but we know that I can't sing, and I'm not. If I am alone, I'm going to be listening to an audio book, not the radio, not CDs, that sort of thing. So when I did go down the rabbit hole of Jelly Roll's music, I mean, I knew his popular stuff anyway, but when I did that, then of course you get like YouTube, you get all these suggestions about, well, you might be interested in this,
Right.
Yeah.
and there are some real imitators out there where they're actually saying in Jelly Roll style.
Oh, wow.
Which I thought was kind of, because he has a very distinctive voice, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to say I am coloring onto the stamp with my water brush. And then I'm going in and
Let's make
with my
her big. Let's make her big.
I'll do it.
in case
Okay,
you
thank
don't want to make four, in case you don't want to do it by hand. I'm just coloring in on this, and then I'm taking it's a watercolor in brush form, and then I'm just lightly spritzing it and then stamping it onto my page, and you get like a watercolored look.
Ooh.
That's
There you
I
lovely.
like it.
You don't have to know how to paint in order to do
So
watercolor.
don't let the painting intimidate you. Pull your stamps out and you get the same look.
Donna, while
Yes,
you are on the focus there, can you lift up one of those pens as a close-up so
Yes,
we can see the brand?
called Zig Clean Color.
Okay, so it's
Real
you
brush.
said it's watercolor.
Yes, they're a watercolor brush, water base. They're by Kuretake.
Now, how did those do on Bible pages?
Well, you can see I use it on the other side and nothing like I use the dark purple right there so you can kind of see it, but it doesn't bleed. Not bleeding through on this paper.
That's
This
nice.
is cheap composition paper, so
I have a bunch of those Zig pens at home.
but it
Well,
gives you a nice.
and wasn't Zig a brand that was popular during the card making and scrapbooking
Scrapbook.
days too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
these were big card maker pens. Yep.
That's probably where mine are from. Probably 25 years old.
Okay, you can take me down now.
Oh,
I kind of want to try a different wreath, you know. Let's just see what I can come up with.
Let's see. I think I need to do the. Is the last one pink or the first one's pink?
I thought the third one was pink.
I thought they're all purple and the last one is pink.
Okay, that's what I thought. The last one's pink. Okay.
Yeah. I honestly don't know the significance of the purple and the pink though.
I don't either.
Oh, I just looked it up. Hold on. Let me go back to that.
I'm going to write that on the back. I didn't really do a pink one, but I thought the third one, I thought Joy was pink. But I don't know.
I'm
Okay.
so oblivious. I didn't know there were color differences. I did them all the same color.
And that's fine.
Well, you can do any color you want.
Not
That's
getting
fine.
kicked out of Bible journaling group.
No.
For being
right, I'm
a
gonna-
rebel.
Okay, let's see. Okay, this is.
I'm going to write mine on the back.
I gotta pop up ad. Go away. Okay, on the first Sunday, it's purple candle. Represents the royalty of King Jesus, who was born on earth to give hope. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to repeat any of that. I'm just going to give you the thing because Carol already went over everything. The second one is the peace candle. That's also purple. That's a hope and peace candle are lit. The third one is joy is pink. Angela
Yeah, that's what
wins.
I
for
thought
the-
that. I mean,
Angela
I know
won.
it's a miracle that I'm right about something like that. But I was pretty
Oh
sure
my
it was-
goodness. Well, see? Good.
On the third Sunday of Advent, you will light the hope and peace candles. Then you will light the only pink candle, the joy candle.
Joy, joy, joy.
Exactly.
There we go.
And then the last one is the love candle, and that's purple. And on the final Sunday before Christmas Day, you will light the first three candles, hope, peace, and joy. Then you will light the final purple candle, the love candle. It represents God's love that was made manifest in his son, Jesus Christ birth. If you want this is on the Daily Grace Co. They make, Daily Grace Co. makes a great series of devotionals if you ever, and they've got a lot of really good devotionals on their website too. So
Daily Grace, you said?
yes, I'll put it in the chat. The Daily Grace Co. I think when I gave up the Bible, my Bible that I gave away, I think I included one of their devotions, if I'm not mistaken. I
Nice.
can't remember.
I don't know what my husband's up to doing there, but I'm hoping it's making me some fantastic food for all my hard work and dedication to this house. You know, he has to have after church meal ready for me, Sunday afternoon meal.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm.
Okay, I'm recoloring my love candle purple.
I feel like I should make my joy candle pink like it's supposed to be, but I mean, I guess I could mix up paint, but we'll see what happens. I might come back to it. I'm about to get really crazy now. I'm going to try making a wreath with wet on wet, which I love doing, and just
Ooh.
like really, ooh, not that, like that, and just see what it turns out like, and then try to put the candle. Ooh, maybe we'll do it with purple and pink. We'll see what happens. The problem with my paper that I'm working with, I don't think I have any actual watercolor up here. I think I only have the mixed media, which kind of works, it's okay. But I can see, like, if I would have done my wreath, Carol, on a piece of that jelly paper, oh, chef's kiss, that would have looked awesome.
Ah,
I mean, I think it would, because I cut mine out and put it on my page, and I just think it would have looked so much prettier with the deli paper and kind of just let the words bleed through it,
yeah, that would have been cool. I gotta let mine dry before I can do my next page. There's really a lot of resources out there, but I loved the one by the Bible Project because I think they put it in very simple language. And they have the little animated videos that go with it that
Yes.
just keep your focus. And I think it's very well explained, and I hope you get to check out that and the Project, and they have YouTube videos. They do a review of every book of the Bible if you want to learn more about a certain book and the history and the premise of each book and what it kind of is covering. And they're really fascinating to watch.
I
I think
love the Bible Project.
I think
Mhm,
that you nailed it when you said, like, for me anyway, it's like it's so easy to understand, and it doesn't leave you asking a lot of questions. It's pretty forthright.
Right. Yeah. Well, and they also have resources for if you do want more,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
cool.
I can only absorb so much, and
Well,
Yeah.
if you struggle with ADD, it helps you stay focused because they're drawing it out as they're. And if you're creative, it's fun to watch. It's like, oh, I wish I could draw like that. Even though it's not like, well, they do have a little more detailed drawing videos, but majority of them are just line drawing. I just love it. I love the guy's handwriting. It's just amazing.
Yeah. It's
I do
it's
have to
So
really
say,
talented. So
it's
just
a-
so different.
yeah, that is cool. And I do say though, it's kind of like watching golf to me a little bit. Like I could fall asleep very easily. I'm like, oh, this is so relaxing.
Oh, hi,
Uh,
Teresa.
Hi,
Tea.
Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
She's sharing a Christmas gift story with us. She said, I was looking at a Baker's Creek seed catalog at the grocery. The man behind me in line struck up a conversation. Okay, waiting for the rest of the story. Yeah.
She always has the best stories. I mean,
Oh, yes, she does.
she's one of the most amazing storytellers ever.
Before I left, he bought the magazine and gave it to me and said, Merry Christmas. Oh my God. I
Aw.
love it. Yeah, my daughter was standing in line behind some people who were doing oh my gosh. I mean, I probably in my lifetime early marriage have had days like this where you just were trying to get by and you go to the grocery store and you don't have enough and your card won't work
Yeah.
or whatever. And so you're removing items, like trying to decide what can I live without, and then they're having to deduct it, and then does it work, is it enough yet, or do I have to give up something more? And she was my daughter was just like sick, agonizing for these people and didn't have the ability to really, step in and just
Sure.
pay for their food. And she was like, man, I really wish I could have stepped in and just said, just leave it on there. I'm paying what they can't cover,
Yeah.
and I'm more in a place where I could do that now. And I I just kind of pray that, God gives us those opportunities like that. And that also when someone else does it for us, like even just in a gift, like this man, that we're, we receive it because it's that brotherly love, right? That
Yeah.
our God's love is reflected in just caring about somebody's well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I mean, there's so much to be said about just, it feels so good to just be able to do something kind for no reason other than to just be kind, And
Hi,
Hi,
in this
Dawn.
Sage.
high stage, in this day and age, we need a lot more of that, So God bless him for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
but
interesting because my pastor just spoke on that. He ended up he talked about pray, just that we all just sit and pray, use me to meet the need of someone else. Like instead of us always asking God for things, change our pray to use me to meet the need of someone else, no matter what it is.
That's
And
a great prayer.
and then he showed it by he had all the single mothers, which was really interesting because a girl that I went on the mission trip with, and we've gotten really close. She's in her 20s, and she told me today that she's pregnant,
Oh,
and she's not married, and anyway, so she showed me the sonograms, and I said, well, how do you feel about it and stuff like that. But I'm asking the Lord to use me and helping. And I really, what she needed was just someone to just hug her and tell her, as a fellow mother, been there, that God's gonna be there for her. But anyway, he had them stand up, and she didn't go forward, and but all the single mothers, and then he ended up like just giving them each some money from his own pocket. And he said, I had to really ask God, because we're in a very tight situation, and but I really felt the Lord leading me to give these young women. I didn't know how many were going to come forward, and but to like just sow a seed into their lives and to help meet a need that they have and at this time. And I think we we all can say, Lord, I need this, I need this, like my car's busted. I need you to help me get this fixed and get the finances to fix it, or whatever, food on my table, or,
Yeah.
food on at this time, any little thing. But you don't necessarily have to meet somebody's financial need, right?
yeah.
Right.
So, and that's it. Like I don't have the finances to help this young woman yet in her where she is as, going to become a single mother, but I do have the wisdom of having had my own two children and what that all entails of, carrying that child for 9 months and all that I can be an emotional support for her, and just, help her. I could share that burden with her, help,
Yeah.
get
Doesn't have
rid
to
of
be
her fears
monetary.
and stuff like that. Yeah, because
Yep.
she,
Right. You're right.
so I think it's not always financial.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just being there for somebody, being
Yeah.
that support.
That's
I
for sure.
Yeah, I like to think that, well, my family all feel, they said, I don't know what it is about you, but mom, people tell you everything. They just meet you in the street or in the grocery store, and they've told you their whole life story. And I think that that's just my calling. Like, people feel safe and that they can tell me things, and they know it's going to stay right there where it is. And I don't know what it is, but if it makes somebody feel better, or I can offer just a lending ear, even if I say nothing, I feel like I'm doing something, right?
Yeah.
I think, Angela, part of that is our generation. We still believe in talking as
That could be.
opposed to technology and social media. I do that all the time. I think that description about, people opening up to me is very true in my case as well. And I know that when I've been with either one kid or the other,
Uh-huh.
they I think are alternately embarrassed, impressed, gobsmacked, whatever, that I will talk to anyone, anytime, any place. And then when I've broken the ice, they get into it as well, and they're connecting with
Yeah.
this stranger, whether it's a cashier or a salesperson, or whoever it might be. So I kind of think that maybe I wish that some of these kids or these younger people would make the first move, because when all of us old timers are gone, will everyone just be texting?
Right. Well, one should wonder. I heard somebody say not so long ago, pretty soon handwriting is going to be obsolete. They're just going to type in a text. And I thought, oh gosh, that would be awful. But, maybe there's some truth to it. I don't know. But hopefully it's
Well,
way after my time.
it's interesting though, because like my daughters are now talking about how, like, do you have this recipe of grandma's, like, in her own handwriting? And honestly, she didn't usually write stuff. She like typed stuff.
Oh,
And
On the
wow.
so it's
typewriter.
isn't that funny? Or she had her favorite recipe book and it's like that page is dog-eared and spotted, but she never wrote it down,
Yeah. Well, Demi has now started she has a file of all of her recipes, and she's made me write a lot of them down in my handwriting.
I love
And
that.
yeah, and then I found, I just found one of my great grandmas for my award-winning 4-H dilly bread, and you make it like in a Pyrex bowl. And I was like, I had no idea. I got the recipe from Mo, but I had no idea that that was my great grandma's recipe, and I found it in her handwriting. So that was just so
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Yeah.
Get them printed on tea towels for all your family.
Yeah, I thought that
That's
would be
cool.
cool. I've seen cutting boards too, which I think would be really,
Oh, yeah, they do it with those Glowforge things.
yeah, I think that'd be
Huh.
awesome.
I
I
was
really want to
thinking
make
about. Oh, sorry. I was thinking about this whole cursive writing thing. In fact, I think I wrote about it in my column.
You
That
talked
what
about it
happens when
in your video.
future collectors, are they going to be saying, like we do when we see a ledger from 100 years ago and the beautiful cursive writing? So what are future collectors going to say? Oh, did you see that guy's TikTok thing? It was so awesome. Like
No,
there will
because
be
it's
nothing,
gonna go
nothing
away, because that's
tangible.
why you have, if you want to look up anything on the internet from a while back, you have to go on the website way back machine, like to find stuff from like the 80s, like original, like 80s, 90s, even the aughts. Like you have to use the Wayback Machine.
The way
So
back.
that's what it's called.
Scrapbooking Sage, she's saying, can you imagine, these families 100 years ago, and the only way they had to communicate with each other was through handwritten letters. And,
Right.
And they survived that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I first was dating and I was on the road singing, we used to write letters, and then we took the cassette tapes and we would record our voices talking to each other on cassette tape and mail the
Oh,
cassette
and
tape.
mail it back and forth. We had an uncle that did that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fun. My in-laws were missionaries in Africa, so my husband grew up down there, and that was one of the things my youngest daughter grabbed when they were cleaning out the grandmother's house. Was she found all the letters that my in-laws had written back and forth to their parents while they were in the mission field.
Oh, cool.
And it is, we had to take them and copy them all, because once my mother-in-law found out that those existed, she wanted them back. But we just scanned them all so my daughter could have them. But
That's pretty neat. And especially the fact that she wanted them,
yeah,
By the way, I'm not
she's
doing anything except getting my palette clean, so I'm just bobbing things on here. I'm not making a masterpiece. I just hope this
how's
comes
that?
off the Corel plate.
So what happened with that watercolor project you were
Oh, it's
doing?
over there, but it's soaking wet, and
Yeah.
I don't have a blow dryer, so I wanted to put like branches and all the things, but this is like probably maybe a 3 or 4 layer type of thing.
Oh,
It has
cool.
a lot of work to do, and I messed up down there, so I'm just gonna let it dry.
I wanted to share because if you look back over our past months doing this, and I looked at the pages I've done, and they're so different from the pages that I do when I'm doing this like on my own. I think today is more like what I usually do.
Mhm.
And it's because I knew ahead of time and I was like studying and I was
Yeah.
in what's ingesting, is that the word I want? I was ruminating on it. And so it's kind of like I'm really feeling it today that I'm Bible journaling and in the past week. So if you've come and you've listened, I just want to encourage you to, take time to do this apart from the live. I'm so glad you're here and I'm so glad we're all working on this together. But if you can spend some time to really study something, watch the videos that we gave the links for today, and then do some pages, I think you'll be surprised how much more this impacts you. When you're got the time to really sit with it, think about it, get it in your heart, and then put your reflection on the paper.
And probably some folks, if they're listening on the replay, that might have the same impact as well.
Right.
Yes, yeah, that's good advice.
Because I was like, why do those pages? I mean, they're simple, and I'm not. It's not like I'm disappointed in them because they're a wonderful memory of the time we've spent together. But they just are very different than most of my other Bible pages. And I was like, yeah, I think it's because we're talking and it's all really good. Like I love the conversation and getting the input from everybody and different perspectives, and this is super important. And we have plans to keep this going in the next year, and I hope you'll keep coming around and joining us because we really enjoyed having you.
We do, and that's a really good point, and I'd like to hear what Jonna and Hazel feel about it. But I think that like my Bible journaling pages, and maybe this is what you were getting at, and I'm maybe repeating, but these are probably my most basic. Anything in here is very basic. Like it's not a piece of art, but it's more special because we did this a lot of these we've done together, and there's nobody's going to see this except me and God, so there's and all of you that are watching, but there's something about that is maybe it's more simplistic. I don't feel like it has to be perfect.
Right. And it's good, but
Yeah.
it's also like really good to take the time to experience maybe something a little on a deeper level by yourself too. That's
Yep.
what I'm encouraging.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that.
And can I just say,
I think
when we read or when Carol read Teresa's thing in the chat, and then of course plunged right into a touching example, and then Angela added a touching example. And all I could think, smartass that I am, is, well, too bad she wasn't in a Mercedes showroom or something.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Or was that winning lottery ticket, right?
Yeah.
God would probably be laughing with you, Hazel, because he does have a good sense of humor.
And there's no car in your future.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's one in mine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we gotta pray for Jonna's car situation.
Well, especially if we're going to be her passengers at some point.
Yeah, that's for
That's
sure.
right. We really need to be praying hard.
Don't worry, I'll have a safe ride by May.
Ladies, do we want to kind of show what we did today, and then
Absolutely.
all right. Who would like to go first?
Oh, just start somewhere.
All right.
In the bottle. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you know what? I'm going
Oh.
to start with myself because I can see. It looks like I have
about
my
flip a coin?
table clear, so I'll just put myself up there real quick. And there's nothing. So this one is going to be a work in progress, and right now it looks like abstract art, which is fine. But I don't know that this is going to go in my Bible. I think I'm just going to maybe tomorrow morning I'll listen to a little Mama's Jesus music if I can find some on my not Spotify anymore and keep playing. But I liked this one because I think it's just a nice little. It's not going to go in my Bible because it's too big, but I just wanted to. I was looking kind of like eucalyptus leaves, and I thought that would be kind of fun.
Oh
And
yeah.
again, if I were to do this, if it were to go somewhere else, I would spend hours on this. And I'd just make the leaves perfect. And everything is imperfect, and I love that. So I will probably put this as a placeholder on either in Colossians or in John, because I did do this one for First Peter. And see what I'm saying, Carol, is if this would have been done on that deli paper,
Oh yeah.
it would have been so pretty.
It would have melted in.
Yeah, yeah. And then my Grinch candle. Isn't it the Grinch? No. Yeah, isn't it the
Yeah.
Grinch tree? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
But
just like
did you go and get your Grinch socks last night?
I did
Oh, I
it.
knew I forgot to do something today on my way home. I knew I forgot. I'll go do it this week. I gotta get some Grinch socks.
Yeah, they're in them Happy Meals at McDonald's.
I know. Well,
Bye, Ellie.
I'll
Bye,
give the McDonald's sandwich to
Bye,
somebody
Ellie.
who wants it.
I know. See, the last time those dang tins got me in trouble, and I ate McDonald's how many times? 3 times, I think. I was like, that's ridiculous.
Hello, yeah, I did the same thing for you.
I know you did. I appreciate
I
all
gave
of
one
you.
up for the team. I gave one up.
So
for
did
the
Carol. So did Carol's baby.
team.
Man, baby.
And this time it's a Big Mac. I think the last time it was like just a quarter pounder. Now they're making you have a Big Mac.
Oh, now that I take, those quarter pounders are horrible, but I like me a Big Mac with extra cheese and extra sauce on the side, so I can.
Oh,
dip the
really?
fries in.
Okay.
I like McDonald's. That's the one fast food that don't twist my arm. I will eat it.
Isn't that funny?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Well, I'm glad you're doing McDonald's journals and because you're the right person to do it.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Well, I got to show you what my sister got me. She found when she was picking for me a Hamburglar ring.
Are
Oh
we
my
going
God.
to change the focus? Angela, did you finish showing?
I'm done. I'm getting Jonna up here now.
Oh.
Yeah, because we can't see what she got.
I can't make her bit. Why can't?
Okay, so this was my playing watercolor one where I just like practiced all the things that Carol was showing. Then I wrote my scripture out, and then this is the ink on the ink pad. I mean on the stamp, and then I stamped it around. I sprayed it and stamped it, and I drew my little Kindle. And now I'm switching over and doing a holly leaf.
Yeah, I really like how that looks.
My right. So.
And it's great
That's it.
to save some time if a person has a huge assignment like it was today.
Yeah. And very non-stressful. So
Yeah, for sure.
very forgiving.
Anyway, you were trying to show us something your sister gave you?
Oh, let me go find it.
Oh,
I haven't done my thrift haul on that, so I have like 5 boxes and bags full of stuff I need to.
Oh my God.
To do a whole videos for.
We'll look at Hazel's and then
Yeah, put Hazel.
let us know when you come back. Okay. Hazel, there you go. Why in the world?
it froze up.
Oh, did it? Okay. I was like, why?
No,
is that-
I mean I'm being sarcastic because it's winter and you got all that snow.
Oh, yeah, I know it's horrible. There you go, sweetie.
Okay, so this is what I did on the watercolor paper.
I love
And
that.
then
Save
I
that.
began doing this directly into the Bible. I did my candles on the paper, cut them out, And I copycatted Angela because I noticed that she dated it. So I just put a little date in there because after a while, a person won't remember when this all happened. I used my gold signal ball pen to do the actual word and a few highlights on the candle. So
I like your highlights.
essentially, you're going to see the same thing 4 times. And I don't understand how some of you can do so much actual journaling in this time, but then I guess you just have more of you're more, I don't know. You're
can't-
more.
I can't either, Hazel. I would be like, what did I write? Like I was even writing the Bible verses down and I wrote, instead of John, I wrote love. So, I'm like, oh Lord. I'm with you, girl.
Anyway, I like the fact that these, and I did try to, which one was supposed, okay, joy. Oh,
yeah.
Don't tell me I did add pink to this one, but I think it's still reading as purple because, of course, lighter over darker didn't exactly work.
Yeah, I like that you did them all the same. So it's during Advent and you've got I really like that concept. That's a good idea.
No thinking required.
Looks pretty.
Yeah, those are so pretty.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's look at Carol's and then we got to see this mystery prize that Carol's got. Okay, I got to go back here and then I've got to put Carol on solo. Nope, not me. Oh, all these changes now are just not.
Let me see if I can do it. I was having better luck, I think, than you.
There you go. You're on there.
Okay. This is my joy one. And I just, this gold leaf, it was already printed on the page. So I just made it part of my wreath. And you can branch out from, it can be any color. So it's still wet. So I have to be a little bit careful. And then here is my love one. So I started at the back end and working my way. I started with the last one and I'm working my way forward again. But that's the only 2 I accomplished today. But I'll hang out here and finish them before I go back and join my family.
So in your just because I can't see it my screen, and maybe you don't want to share, but on the bottom of your page, what was that? What were you writing on the bottom of your pages with each of those?
Just kind of reiterating a bit of what I shared. So on joy, I wrote, an attitude of joy is what we as God's people adopt, not because of our life circumstances, but our future destiny, our redemption.
I like that.
And then on love, I wrote, loving God and loving others inseparable. Biblical love is an action to seek the well-being of others without anything in return, even our enemies, and to reflect God's love for us.
Very cool. I wish I could write that tiny that I could fit stuff on the bottom of my pages.
Well, it's kind of like I write small, but I write kind of messy. But in a way, then if I'm flipping through my Bible, I figure most people can't read it really in depth if it is something sort of private, but I can read it.
Right. I like write in, large font for all those people. They could see it across the church if I were writing in the book.
Exactly.
I thought you were going to say could see it from space.
Maybe that's very true. John, are you back?
I'm back.
Okay, now let's see if I can get John on here. The weird thing about it, Carol, is you got to go back to, oh my gosh, I remember those. Jelly, I am jelly.
Isn't it cute?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I had to laugh. I didn't even know they existed.
I remember those. I do remember those. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Hamburger.
Oh, she's working on her next candle.
Mhm.
Well, I wish I could spend more time to get my my last two done today, but I've got to go stain the rest of that floor before I had to stop strategically at a certain spot so I could finish it back up because I ran out of stain.
Yeah. Oh my. Well, you've been working hard.
It's
We're
almost done.
Oh, we have definitely slowed down on our taking breaks and are just scheduling family things every weekend to try and just embrace the season and not be killing ourselves off. Not that's no criticism to you. I
Oh,
know
I
you
know.
how badly you want to get this done. We just spent the weekend with my brother-in-law and his wife and their three of their four kids, and we took our granddaughter with us and had a wonderful weekend with them. And tonight we're going with our kids to a drive-through light display at the local
Wow.
fairground and having dinner out with them. And it just feels like Christmas is here, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I went. I took my sister before she left. We did the. I have a tradition. I go pick up my friend who doesn't drive. She's older and she doesn't drive anymore. So I picked her up and took her. We always go to the Krispy Kreme. If the Krispy Kreme in Memphis, if the Krispy Kreme hot and ready sign was on, and it was, so her prayers were answered. And then we take our Krispy Kreme and our coffee and go over and see the lighting of Graceland, Elvis's
Oh,
home.
cool.
And then
Oh,
after that, we go and do the park and do the drive-through light show. So we were able to do that, and we had the best time. It was so much fun.
Oh, that
Awesome.
sounds Christmas magic for sure.
Christmas
let me tell
donuts
you.
for sure.
Christmas magic will be when the last brush gets cleaned out and I am done painting and staining and sealing those floors. So
Hey,
So
I'm
you're
then
still
hoping.
working on my retaining wall, so I
Yeah.
feel you, Angela.
Oh, well, I think and you guys can probably understand this. Like, the need for me to decorate is like, come on, I need to get this done because there's so many things that I have in my mind that I want to execute. And so that's kind of driving me, but I want to get it done before Christmas and then I can really enjoy my time celebrating, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Some things you want not hanging over your head anymore.
That's right. Exactly
Mhm.
right. This thing's going to take forever to dry, I guess. Well, ladies, as always,
Oh, sorry.
this,
Can I just say that for the benefit of people watching or here or watching the replay, that we are committed to doing this again in January. We just don't have the dates yet. So
Yeah.
you need to follow. You need to follow all of us and subscribe to all of us to be
Yes,
in the
that would
know.
really help. Yes.
yeah,
To
and you
be
get
in
all
the
the
know.
tea,
Yeah.
from all of us. For sure. And for everybody that joined us today or is watching on the replay, thank you very much. From the bottom of our hearts, we really do appreciate you. And we hope that you have a very happy holiday. Ladies, I appreciate all of you. And Carol, thank you for such a great lesson today. It was perfect just for this time of season. So thank you for thinking of that. We appreciate you.
You're
And
so welcome.
and we will see you all next month.
Yes.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bless
Bye.
you all. Merry Christmas.